this what you want? This fucking foliage? Is this what you want? Mr. Dips? Is this what you want? Me standing in front of EC3 buying designer coats? Is this what you want? Me sitting in some hipster hotel in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, fluffing pillows? Is this what you want? I don't believe this. This graffiti art, the hotels, avocado toast. All I want is a fucking Guinness. An ice cold Guinness. What the hell does that mean? Oh, this is what you wanted. This is your Monday Night Raw review right here on Off the Script. Oh my goodness. Oh. Have you guys ever watched anything and just felt the life just get sucked out of you? It's exactly what it feels like when you're watching Monday Night Raw. Absolutely terrible. I'm not sure if you guys are aware, but Sunday is the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. They are hyping it. I'm not sure if you guys are aware that it is the most unique Money in the Bank ladder match in WWE history. Someone's going to climb the corporate ladder. The risk is worth the reward. Folks, the risk of not watching Monday Night Raw is the only reward that I want you guys to seek. Because if this show is any indication about what the pay-per-view is going to be, I can tell you right now the pay-per-view on Sunday is going to be a steaming pile of garbage. I just don't know. I just don't know. I want to go off on this show, and more than likely I will, but you can just tell that the company just doesn't give a single shit about anything that they are producing right now on USA, on Fox, in totality, during this WWE Performance Center phase. They do not care. They do not care. I don't know what you guys thought of when you watched the Gauntlet match. I don't know what you guys thought of when you watched the Street Profits and the Viking Raiders. I don't know what you guys thought of when you watched Liv Morgan foolishly go out there and think she could overcome an android queen. I just don't know. I don't know. And I could sit here and complain and complain and complain about these shows. And I even asked you guys on my Instagram page when I was promoting the SmackDown podcast on Friday. I even asked you guys, why aren't you watching the shows? Why aren't you watching SmackDown? Why aren't you watching Monday Night Raw, NXT, All Elite Wrestling with Dynamite on Wednesdays? And the overwhelming majority of you just felt the same thing that I have felt and have been feeling. You just don't consider pro wrestling a priority. You can't watch it in its current state. And I don't even think WWE gives a shit about the current state of their company. I really don't. Monday Night Raw was absolutely an illogical mess tonight. Monday Night Raw was clearly pieced together in about 15 minutes tonight. I could have wrote this show, and you could have given me the pen and the paper, and I could have easily come up with things that made sense. And I love when I come on here every single week and I go over what is wrong with the product, because it makes me feel so much better about myself after subjecting myself to 3 hours watching professionals try and do what they should be doing for a wrestling show and failing at it. I can't wait to just go over it, because I know half of you guys didn't even watch the fucking show tonight. I know you guys just don't give a shit whatsoever. That's why there is channels like me here. on YouTube. This is why I do what I do every week. So you guys don't have to watch this shit, but I cannot wait to dive into what they did on this show, man. It is absolutely horrendous in every sense of the word. And I am not excited about Money in the Bank whatsoever. I doubt you guys even care. I doubt you guys even know there's a pay-per-view on Sunday night. Awful. Absolutely awful. And we're going to go over everything that happened on Monday Night Raw tonight, May 4th, 2020. The most important thing I want to get out there before we even get into the review is today would have been my grandpa's 93rd birthday. So wherever he is right now, I hope he's looking down on me and my brother, my mom and dad, my two brothers actually, my mom and dad, my entire family, just happy and guiding us and looking over us. So I just want to wish him a happy 93rd, or what would have been a 93rd birthday for my grandpa. So I miss him every day, love him, and I think about him every single day. So just wanted to get that out there for you guys, and thank you for all the supports, as always, on the channel. We got off the script this past weekend, man. It was a great show, and I could easily tell a lot of people in the community are just struggling at the moment. I could tell just by the vibe of what I do on the channel where your mindset is when it comes to pro wrestling and WWE in general. Now, I could tell by the views, I could tell about the reactions, I could tell about the vibe that I get in the comment section. I know you guys are just not feeling it right now. I really, really wish things would get back to being somewhat normal so that we could all enjoy what we once loved in pro wrestling, no matter how shitty it was. But I thought Off the Script was great this past weekend. If you missed any of Off the Script, episode 324, make sure you guys go and check the description down below. In this particular video, everything you need is going to be there. Episode 324, parts 1 and 2. SmackDown, if you guys missed my SmackDown review from Friday. AEW Dynamite. As always, everything you need is linked down below, so go and check all that stuff out. I know some of you guys binge watch it, so you usually wait till after the weekend is over so you can watch it back to back, straight through instead of waiting for each part to drop. So thank you guys for that if you have checked it out. If not, again, links are down below in the description. Make sure you guys follow me on social media at JDfromNY206. That is on Twitter and Instagram. Most important, hit that subscribe button, turn on that bell for all notifications, and hit that thumbs up. Let's try for 2,000 thumbs up. You guys help out every single Monday when you hit that thumbs up, so I would greatly appreciate it. It gets the video and the channel into the recommended section on YouTube. It enhances the SEO in the search. For when people go and look up for Monday Night Raw or Monday Night Raw results, you'll see my channel right at the very top each and every single week. Your thumbs up will always enhance that, so make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. If you want to support the podcast via Patreon, you guys can certainly do that as well. Patreon.com/JDfromNY206. And today's podcast is brought to you by my good friends over at Audible. audibletrial.com/offthescript. Make sure you guys sign up using our unique link. That is audibletrial.com/offthescript. 30 days free, one free audiobook of your choice. I'm hearing that Jim Ross's new book is absolutely fantastic. You guys could get that for free. And I know you guys need something to do like everybody during this stay at home. So make sure you guys go and get Jim Ross's book, or any book for that matter. There's 200,000 choices to choose from Audible service using our link. So make sure you guys go and sign up. Great way to support Audible. Great way to support the podcast. I want to thank them for supporting Off the Script each and every single week right here on the channel. Let's get into Monday Night Raw, man. We got the open of Raw with the VIP lounge. MVP. Say it every single week. The guy said he was going to retire. Apparently he forgot that he was going to step away from the squared circle. Every single week we're seeing MVP on the show more than we're seeing actual full-time performers on Monday Night Raw. The one thing that I thought about when I turned on the USA Network and I sat down with my dinner and my cold beverage and I see MVP, the first thing I see on the show is MVP, is I'm thinking to myself, boy, oh boy, WWE really wants you to change the fucking channel right at the top of the hour. MVP stood in the middle of the ring. His music was playing. He welcomed everybody back to the VIP lounge. Apparently, the pandemic is keeping the VIP lounge open during this difficult situation. Said last week things went a little sideways. Last week things went a little sideways. Things are going sideways every week on Monday Night Raw. I don't know where the fuck he's been, but that's from what I could tell. In a very special episode featuring the men's competitors in the Money in the Bank ladder match. He said they moved on from the chaos in that segment that tore up his set. Oh, poor baby. Poor baby. He said last week that happened, and this week they will return to style, sophistication, and class with the women's Raw competitors in the Money in the Bank ladder match. So let me rephrase this for you guys, because I don't know if that went over your head. We have a segment with Shayna Baszler, Asuka, and Nia Jax. Okay? So, sophistication, class, and style. Is Nia Jax? Where? I don't know if he was talking about Nia Jax or somebody else, but I'm looking at this and I'm scratching my head and I'm wondering, what the fuck's this guy talking about? So Shayna Baszler, Asuka, and Nia Jax are a part of the opening segment of Monday Night Raw, folks. Where the fuck is the remote control? Seriously. Not only we got MVP, we got fucking Nia Jax in the open of Monday Night Raw. MVP introduced Asuka, and then out comes Baszler, and then out comes Nia Jax. She shoved the red velvet rope that was cutting off the entrance to the ring, like you would see while you're waiting in line to get into the club. She pushed over the rope. I read a report tonight that the rope is going to be out 6 to 8 months due to Nia Jax. So I don't think we'll be seeing much of the red rope on the VIP lounge anytime soon. So MVP said all three of them will be way out of their comfort zones on Sunday. I'm out of my comfort zone every Monday and Friday when I watch Raw and SmackDown, but I don't think MVP gives a shit. He stressed that this is the most unique Money in the Bank ladder match of all time. He asked if Jax has the skill to make it from the ground floor to the roof to the top of the ladder. Bro, you're asking Nia Jax if she has what it takes to make it from the ground floor to the roof to the top of the ladder. Bro, the only way you're going to get Nia Jax to do all of that is if you hang a fucking Twinkie from the rope that usually carries the briefcase. I don't know if that's even fucking humanly possible. Nia Jax and cardio don't go in the same sentence, okay? So, she asked MVP if he... There's your one joke for the evening, by the way. She asked MVP if he's seen her dominate in recent weeks. I don't know. Is MVP in catering? Because if that's the case, then I'm sure he's seen you dominate. There's your second joke for the week. She vowed to dominate and destroy her opponents on Sunday. I'm not sure if she was thinking if she was talking about the briefcase or the Money in the Bank ladder match, or she was talking about the mashed potatoes with bacon bits and chives. That tied up. Oh, never mind. She said something about all of this being rude and something about a big booty. I wasn't paying attention. MVP then asked Baszler about her skill set. Baszler was just chilling there in her black leather jacket, looking like a beast. But she hasn't come off as a beast. So, Baszler said something in Latin. And if I know my Latin, I think I do. What Baszler said was, I do not want to be here. This sucks. That's what she said in Latin. So Baszler was just chilling there. Baszler said something in Latin. She said she does her talking with her actions. Yeah, so do I. When I see something like this, my actions move to the remote control and into the voice remote, I ask for Guy Fieri and a trip to Flavortown. But by that time, Nia Jax would have beaten me there. There's your third joke for the evening. No more. Baszler said something in Latin, and then she says that she does her talking with her actions. She said that's the difference between her and everyone else in this match. Isn't that right, Asuka? So then Asuka went back to ranting in Japanese, which at this point I didn't mind because anything is better than Nia Jax. Baszler and Asuka stood and stared at each other, and then they kicked Nia Jax off of her chair. She tumbled backwards, and she did not get up. MVP stepped between them and laughed and said, save it for the fight, ladies, on Sunday night. So that was that. This was terrible, number one. Nia Jax is terrible, number two. Asuka and Shayna, but more importantly, Shayna, she does not, all joking aside here, man, and please don't take what I say seriously. Some of you will, but I'm here to entertain. That's what I do. But in all seriousness, man, let's get back to the wrestling. The heart of the matter here is the wrestling. Shayna Baszler seems so fucking irrelevant on this show. It's not even funny. It is not even funny. She seems like everybody else. I don't know what the fuck they've done in the last month and a half to Shayna Baszler. It's mind-boggling to me how NXT booked this woman perfect for 2.5 to 3 years, and in 1 month, she is already unimportant on Monday nights. She doesn't feel special whatsoever. Now, I don't know if WWE is doing this by design, because they're going to give her the Money in the Bank on Sunday. I don't know if they just genuinely find nothing of interest in Shayna Baszler. But if you don't find Shayna Baszler to be that woman that you want to book and push in a meaningful way, why the fuck did you call her up to the main roster? And why are you making her feel so irrelevant and unspecial and then have her go into this and win the Money in the Bank? It doesn't make sense to me, because I could trace this all the way back to WrestleMania, where she should have beat Becky Lynch. She should have been the Raw Women's Champion. You should have started right out of the gate with Shayna Baszler. And now here you are. If she loses, everybody's going to question why she was called up. If she wins, then it's going to be a story of, oh, well, it's too little, too late. You already buried Shayna Baszler at WrestleMania. What good is the fucking Money in the Bank briefcase going to do? You're just correcting a mistake that should have never even been made at WrestleMania. So I don't really get why Shayna Baszler right now, as we look at her, feels so unimportant on Monday night. This was terrible. Anything regarding the women's division, anything regarding Nia Jax is always terrible, but this was just horrendous television. I don't know who found this to be exciting, but this was awful. So we go on to a gauntlet match. Because WWE, they never had a gauntlet match before, right? Right? Usually WWE, they think of something, how could I fill 1 hour of television? A gauntlet match. That's exactly what they did. So we got a gauntlet match to take up more than the first hour of Monday Night Raw. And that's the way WWE gets out of a creative mess on Monday. But little did they know that this entire match was a creative mess. So this is for the final spot on the Raw side for the Money in the Bank ladder match. So we got this gauntlet match being billed as a last chance gauntlet match on Monday night. So Bobby Lashley is in the ring against Titus O'Neil. Now, apparently he might have had several pies in the oven and had time to kill, so that's why he was in this match. I'm not really sure why he was here. But I mean this very wholeheartedly. And I seriously ask, this is your homework. This is your homework for the evening. This is your homework this Monday on the podcast. They label it a last chance gauntlet match for the final Money in the Bank spot on Sunday, on the Raw side. But if it's a last chance gauntlet match, don't you need to have a first chance to get a last chance? I don't remember Titus ever getting a first chance. So why is he getting a chance at all? This is what I don't understand. I look at the fucking sheet, and I look at the script for Monday Night Raw, which obviously I don't have, but I look at the TV. That's my script. I'm looking at this, and immediately I pick up on the words that they use, last chance gauntlet match, and then I see Titus O'Neil fucking green bean himself out to the ring. He flakes himself out to the ring, right? Pillsbury Doughboys himself out to the ring. How is he getting a last chance when he never got a first chance? This is what I don't get. And then you wonder why I come on here every single Monday. You got the fucking virgins and geeks on Reddit fucking shitting on me every single week. I mean, do you not ask yourself these questions? Do you not have a brain to come up with these simplistic concepts on Monday night? Why do I have to do it for you? You know, if you were in my class, I'd fail you. Because you're a fucking idiot. Bobby Lashley versus Titus O'Neil. Apparently, he felt his cakes or his pies were going to burn, so this match only lasted 2 minutes. Bobby Lashley wins with a spear to Titus O'Neil. So go back to catering and take care of Humberto, because I'm sure he's getting hungry. So Lashley moves on to Akira Tozawa. I mean, I could sit here again for a second week in a row and ask you why Akira Tozawa is on Monday Night Raw when he's competing in the fucking Cruiserweight Interim Round-Robin Tournament for the Cruiserweight title. Why he's on Monday Night Raw losing to Bobby Lashley in what looked to be 30 fucking seconds on Monday night. Does WWE realize that no one's going to take him seriously in the Cruiserweight tournament if he's on Monday Night Raw and losing, getting squashed? Oh, that's right. They don't give a fuck about NXT. Oh, pardon me. The fuck am I talking about? So, Akira Tozawa loses again. So, goodbye. Bobby Lashley wins 2 matches in a row in about 3 minutes. So, we go into Bobby Lashley versus Shelton Benjamin. Another one of those guys that's getting a last chance when he didn't even get a first chance on this Money in the Bank tour. Shelton Benjamin loses, obviously. You know, he hasn't won a match since 2006, I believe, on SmackDown. The fuck is this guy even doing it? This guy, A, number one, I'm surprised this guy's still employed. B, this guy made out like a bandit. 5-year deal, and he's legitimately stealing right from Vince McMahon's wallet. He does legitimately nothing. Nothing. Who's better than Shelton Benjamin right now, right? Bobby Lashley wins, spear, and that was it. So Bobby Lashley wins in, I guess, let's see, 2 and about 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes, here on Monday Night Raw. So we go from Shelton, Tozawa, and Chef Titus to Humberto Carrillo. So Humberto, who's been off TV for about 2 months, for whatever reason, I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe he was quarantining. Maybe that's the legitimate reason he was off of TV. I have no idea, nor do I care. Did you miss Humberto? Huh? Did you miss Humberto Carrillo? Because I know I didn't. Is Humberto making the show better, or is he making the show worse? I can't fucking tell. I can't tell. Apparently, Humberto's going to get those ratings up. That's why they brought him back. They're going to take it from a 1.7 to a 1.71 on Monday night. Lashley versus Humberto Carrillo. And this one ended in 3 minutes. So we got Lashley throwing him off the top rope. Lashley then beat Humberto into the corner. Lashley ignored the referee's 5 count. Shoved the referee twice when the referee tried to pull him away. And the referee DQ'd Lashley. So, 2 things here. Number one, you buried Titus and Akira and Shelton for Bobby Lashley to, I guess, ignore the referee's 5 count, right? So, 3 casualties there meant nothing, right? Could have made this a legitimate competition, right? You made Bobby Lashley look dominant, and then you did not make him look dominant because the DQ made him look like a fucking idiot. So, you mean to tell me that Bobby Lashley is so fucking stupid to not adhere to the referee's 5 count? Does he not know what's on the line? A Money in the Bank contract, or an opportunity at the Money in the Bank contract. Did this guy not know what he was competing for, that he just willingly got disqualified against fucking Humberto Carrillo on Monday Night Raw? A guy he could snap with the snap of his fingers? Snap him in half like a fucking, like a drumstick in catering. Are you serious? This is what I think about when I'm watching this bullshit. So Humberto Carrillo beats Bobby Lashley for basically doing nothing. Sat at home for 2 months. Shows up on Monday night. First match. Yeah, you win by DQ over Bobby Lashley. Great job. Great job. So then we get Angel Garza. Angel Garza is the next one against Humberto. By the way, after the match was over, Carrillo got destroyed by Bobby Lashley. He speared Carrillo, and that was it. Took him out, beat him down, and he was quote-unquote injured for the next guy to logically pick the bones of Humberto Carrillo. So we got Humberto Carrillo versus Angel Garza, folks. Imagine how shitty WWE creative is that this was the match that we were seeing, or one of the matches we were seeing on Monday night before WrestleMania, only for Humberto to come back, and his first match is against the same guy that he was feuding with before WrestleMania. I don't know how anybody finds this shit interesting, man. I really don't. So, Humberto Carrillo versus Angel Garza. And you would think that with Humberto Carrillo beaten up and pretty much destroyed after his DQ against Bobby Lashley, that Angel Garza would pick the bones of poor little Humberto Carrillo. What do you think they did here, folks? What do you think they did here? Did Angel Garza get the victory? Did he go on to qualify for the Money in the Bank ladder match? Because I said it on Twitter, if Angel Garza won the Money in the Bank, you ain't going to hear a peep out of me. I think that's a fantastic decision. Now, what did they do, folks? What did they do? They gave Humberto Carrillo the roll-up victory over Angel Garza. Exactly. What? Can you repeat that again, JD? Yes, I can, my fellow goons. So we got Garza dominating because Bobby Lashley took him out, right? You figured Garza would win. Garza dominated, and Humberto countered Garza's wing clipper into a sunset flip for a 3 count. So Angel Garza could not kick out of a sunset flip by an already battered and beaten Humberto Carrillo. There you go. I am going to save my comments, the ones that I want to express vehemently, in just a second, because you thought that was bad. Wait till you get a load of this one, folks. WWE had anybody on the roster to pick from to be the next one to come out. Who do you think they picked to have Humberto go up against next in this pointless gauntlet match? Could have been anybody. Who came out? Austin Theory came out. I don't know why. I really don't. Austin Theory is probably the only one in this entire match that even made fucking sense to be here, which I'll talk about in a second. So, if I was to tell you that Austin Theory and Angel Garza had matches back-to-back against a beaten and battered Humberto Carrillo and lost, would you believe me? Of course you would. This is Monday Night Raw creative. This is Vince McMahon's baby. This is Paul Heyman's creative genius on Monday nights, right? Austin Theory loses to Humberto Carrillo in 4 minutes. 4 fucking minutes. A fresh Austin Theory loses to Humberto Carrillo in 4 minutes, folks. How did Humberto win? Theory gave Humberto a top rope superplex. Humberto surprised Theory all of a sudden out of the suplex with a small package. So he beats 2 of 3 in Zelina's group with fluke small packages. Now, I want you guys to go back to 2 weeks ago when I had Salrex, my boy Salrex, made me a beautiful thumbnail about, Zelina's boys being buried on Monday Night Raw. A lot of you guys were like, oh, you don't know how to use the word buried. You're going a little bit too far. You don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what I'm talking about, you said. Right? And I'm not really directing this at the people who know what I'm talking about, but I'm more so directing it at the people who come here primarily to shit on me, come here to primarily take what I say and dissect it and build your fucking social media fan base off of shit that I do or shit that I say because you know it's going to get you some traction on social media. Can you all show face so you can come to me directly and tell me that you were fucking wrong? Never doubt me ever again, motherfucker. Never doubt anything I say here ever again. This is why I've labeled myself the IWC Messiah. I don't have that sitting on my fucking Twitter as a fucking cosplay or a joke. This is true. These are facts. This is factual information. Buried. Buried. I don't want to hear another fucking peep from anybody in regards to Andrade, Garza, and Mr. Austin Theory again. Buried. I don't know why you're looking at me and you're still trying to figure out why I said that they're buried. Oh, they're new talent. Well, what do you want them to do? Blah, blah, blah. Folks, Humberto Carrillo was buried himself on Monday Night Raw. Took 2 months off, I guess, during WrestleMania season. Comes back tonight for the first time on Monday Night Raw. This guy was treated like a fucking loser. I could count how many times this guy has won on Monday Night Raw on one fucking hand. Probably less than that. It's probably in the negative numbers. Okay? But he comes back, and in his first night back, someone who is absolutely a fucking afterthought on this show beats Angel Garza and Austin Theory in the same night, back to back. And you mean to tell me that these guys are not buried on WWE television? I don't want to hear another fucking word about Austin Theory and Andrade and Angel Garza. And I am incredibly high on all three of those guys. But at this stage of the game, they're not going to be taken seriously. They are 3 fucking losers on Monday night. They have absolutely zero credibility. Zero. They have as much credibility as Nia Jax on Monday nights. And that's fucking treacherous. Done. Done. At this stage of this gauntlet match, this shit was fucking horrendous. Garbage. Don't even know why this was even a fucking thing on this show. So what did they do? They buried Angel Garza and Austin Theory all for AJ Styles to rip apart Humberto Carrillo. I don't get it. I don't get it. This is what I would have did, folks. This is what I would have done on Monday night. Was it so difficult? Would it have been so difficult to book Angel Garza to beat Humberto Carrillo like he should have, and then beat some poor schmuck after that? Why did you need to put Angel Garza and Austin Theory back to back in the same fucking match to lose? Would it have been a problem if Angel Garza destroyed Humberto Carrillo like he should, destroy some poor schmuck after that, and then have a competitive 10-minute back and forth with AJ Styles at least showing face in a losing effort? No, you made him and Austin Theory look like a bunch of fucking losers, and then you gave Humberto Carrillo these wins, which mean absolutely nothing at the end of this, all for AJ Styles to pick the fucking bones of Humberto Carrillo. When all you could have done, you could have spared us fucking 40 minutes of this shit, and you could have put AJ Styles in the gauntlet match and called it a night. Because who the fuck is going to question anything that AJ Styles says? This show is booked illogically anyway, up and down for 3 fucking hours. I would have gladly taken AJ saying, you know what, I'm going to enter myself in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Fuck it. Fuck it. I would have taken that any day over the week instead of getting this fucking garbage on Monday night. Complete fucking trash. I don't know who in their right mind thought this was a bright idea. Bobby Lashley and what you did, I don't know what the fuck you started out doing there. Completely wasted. Angel Garza, buried. Austin Theory, buried. Akira Tozawa, buried. Humberto, why the fuck is he even there? All for AJ Styles to get the win over poor little Humberto. What are we seeing tonight that we have not seen since fucking Survivor Series? Humberto is a loser. I don't need you to tell me 6 days before Money in the Bank that Humberto is a loser. I knew this already. This shit sucked. Sucked. And the other point I wanted to make, this was a last chance battle royal. The only one that made sense in this thing was Austin Theory because he actually had a Money in the Bank qualifier against Aleister Black. So this would have been another chance for Austin Theory. This would have been a legitimate last chance for Austin Theory because he logically got a first chance. Bobby Lashley, Titus O'Neil, Akira Tozawa, AJ Styles, Humberto Carrillo, and Angel Garza never even got a fucking shot at Money in the Bank. So why the fuck were they there? What you should have did is maybe you should have booked a fucking triple threat match or a fatal four-way with AJ included and used everybody that fucking lost in this Money in the Bank qualifying bullshit and put them all in one match. That's what a real last chance match is supposed to be. I don't know what the fuck this was. WWE Creative are a bunch of fucking idiots. That's all I gathered from this 40 minutes that just completely wasted our time. I'd love for you to find a silver lining in all of this. I'll give you a clue. Here's a spoiler. You can't. Trash. Hour 2. AJ Styles is back. We go into hour 2 with this. He took the microphone after he made Humberto tap, because he's a loser. Says he's not a zombie. He's not a ghost. I would absolutely be all for zombie AJ Styles. He said there is no Undertaker to try and steal his spotlight. Not this time. He said he admits he got buried. But, he admits he got buried. Oh, so what do you call? I would love to know what AJ calls what happened to Garza and Theory tonight. You might as well just throw them in the fucking grave, wherever the Boneyard match was filmed. Now, he said he got buried, but that doesn't mean he lost anything. So what? He said there's no rules in a Boneyard match, no results at all. That was then, this is now. He said he has seized the opportunity and is now in the most unique Money in the Bank ladder match in history. He said it's worth it, and obviously that's their other thing, you know. The risk is worth the reward. And he's going to do anything to get that Money in the Bank contract. He said, if that means throwing a Rey Mysterio or an Aleister Black off the roof of the WWE headquarters, so be it. You know, they're really teasing that spot quite heavily on this show. And I don't know how they're going to go about doing that. I'm sure it'll take a lot of wood, you know, with Kevin Dunn behind the fucking, you know, the production crew to get that done. A lot of camera angles, a lot of work, a lot of magic. I don't know how the fuck they're going to make that work, so we'll see what happens. But they have teased it heavily on tonight's show. So he says they haven't been through what I've been through. They haven't seen what I've seen. He said he'll rewrite history on the greatest moments in Money in the Bank history. He said he is winning the contract to guarantee him a shot at the WWE Championship. He said Mr. Money in the Bank can cash that in, and it's going to be phenomenal. Or he said Mr. Money in the Bank is going to be phenomenal. So, with AJ now included in the Money in the Bank ladder match, I think we have a new odds-on favorite. First of all, as long as it's not Jinder, because I honestly think if you guys were on social media, they were hyping Jinder versus Drew McIntyre as a dream match on WWE's India social media account. And then Jinder Mahal actually said something about it today as well. You know, he said, you know, in most cases, this is a dream match for one, or a dream match for some, or all, and a nightmare for one. He didn't really mention Drew McIntyre, but a lot of people quote tweeted it for me and said that they thought of me when he said that. Of course it would be a nightmare. Jinder Mahal in the WWE Championship title picture is a fucking nightmare. Absolutely. But it looks like we might get that to happen away from the Money in the Bank. Now we're looking at a situation with WWE with Aleister Black, AJ Styles, and Baron Corbin in the Money in the Bank. This is going to be a little bit of a tricky one to figure out. Any one of those guys can win it. Obviously, I want Aleister Black to win it. But when it boils down to it, the Money in the Bank briefcase, especially with AJ being on Raw and Drew McIntyre being the WWE champion, then we got Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman. I don't really know who's going to walk out of SmackDown with the Universal Championship. I don't think anybody on SmackDown is going to win the match, so I think that's something that we could put to bed. It's either Drew or Aleister Black. And just seeing who the champion is, I think it's going to AJ Styles because the heel is probably the best bet for that briefcase with Drew McIntyre being the WWE champion. So in an effort to rebuild AJ Styles coming out of the Boneyard match and him being buried, WWE is going to bring him back to life and more than likely have him be this year's Money in the Bank winner. Now, the one thing that I want to throw out there for you guys, because this is how my brain operates and I would not put it past WWE, can you imagine if Jinder Mahal beats Drew McIntyre at whatever point this year for the WWE Championship, and AJ Styles versus Jinder Mahal is the major program for the WWE title on Monday Night Raw, just like it was back on SmackDown Live? Can you imagine that? Just 3 years removed from that dreaded year, and we got that title match and program, right, on SmackDown. Can you imagine it happening all over again on Monday Night Raw? Just throwing that out there. Just throwing that out there. You know Jinder is going to be involved in the WWE title picture. You know it. You know it. So we got the Seth Rollins promo tonight. Seth Rollins was in the ring with Charlie Caruso, hyping up his WWE Championship match against Drew McIntyre at Money in the Bank. He asked about Murphy facing Drew McIntyre, or she asked, rather. Charlie asked him about Murphy facing Drew McIntyre tonight. Seth said, whatever will be, will be. He said that he has the utmost confidence in Murphy. Seth said Drew is a fighter and a warrior and an honorable man, but he's not a leader. He said it is not his destiny to be the champion, and it's going to be one of those situations on who takes them into the future. It is mine, he said. He said Drew will put up a hell of a fight at Money in the Bank because the WWE Championship means so much to him, but he said he is willing to sacrifice himself for the greatest good. That is his destiny. He said everyone thinks he's trying to take something from Drew, but that's not the case. He said Drew is not ready to deal with the pressure that comes with being champion. And he said he isn't taking anything away from him, but instead he's trying to unburden him. I am trying to save Drew McIntyre. And that is the absolute truth. He said his destiny will become his reality at Money in the Bank when he is announced the new WWE Champion. Same old, same old. This was pretty much a rinse and repeat, a rehash from what they said and what they did during their contract signing. So there was nothing new here. It was just another exclamation point on what they're trying to do. It's not about the title. It's about Seth saving Drew from himself and Seth trying to unburden Drew McIntyre because it is his destiny to be the WWE Champion. Give me your burdens. Let me save you. This is WWE's ring around the rosy here, trying to make sense of Seth Rollins illogically getting a championship match when realistically he should not even be anywhere close to the WWE Championship picture. But, you know, this is their own fault. They have no heels built up on the roster. They have no top heel to go against the brand's top babyface. So this is what we're getting. And in typical WWE fashion, their biggest heel on the show right now is going to lose, and he will be pushed down the ladder with nothing to do. So WWE, instead of building Seth Rollins up as a legitimate contender, as a legitimate threat, they're throwing him to the wolves now, all so that we get Jinder Mahal as the biggest heel on Monday Night Raw. Am I in the ballpark? I think so. Seth has this thing about him where I've enjoyed him a little bit more now than I have with his promos, but, I mean, this doesn't sell me on the title match for Sunday's pay-per-view. I'm just not interested, you know? Sure, it's going to be a decent match, but what do you really expect to happen here? Do you expect Drew to lose at Money in the Bank in his first major pay-per-view title defense? Do you honestly expect them to take the title off of Drew McIntyre? Now, I wouldn't be surprised if that happens because of the Raw ratings and how terrible they've been, but I don't see that happening. I really don't. So, with all of this happening, this is nothing more than another waste of our time on Sunday night. And another thing about this, we've seen this how many times on Monday Night Raw? This is when Drew was straddled with Bobby Lashley and Baron Corbin, and they were battling the Shield, right? or he was with Dolph Ziggler, I believe, and they were battling the Shield. How many times did we see Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins on Monday Night Raw when nothing was on the line, and now you expect me to care when something is on the line? The sheer number of times we've seen this match already now renders this match completely unimportant because of how many times we've seen this match already happen on Monday night. So, pardon me if I don't give anywhere close to a shit than you do. I have my fucking reasons, and they're legit. So, I'm sorry I don't give a shit about this like other people do. I remember what happened on Monday night. You might not remember, but I certainly do. I put up with this fucking shit every fucking week to bring you guys a podcast for 3 hours. So, I don't know what you want me to tell you. And I'll probably reiterate that on Sunday night when I go live for the pay-per-view review. Backstage, MVP approached Shane Thorne and Brandon Vink. He said each of their full names, which was, I don't know. I don't know why he's even with these guys, but it is what it is. When he said he was looking for them, he said great moments are born out of great opportunities. He said it's a miracle that two of Australia's finest have a big opportunity. Vink then predicted victory, and MVP rubbed his hands together like he knew he was going to get a W under his belt. Caruso interviewed Murphy backstage. She asked why he's been so loyal to Seth. Murphy said that Seth took him under his wing when it benefited them both. He needed me and I needed him. He said he's learned and developed since, so hopefully one day he is at the level of Seth. He certainly could be if WWE gives him any fucking push. Or maybe one day I will be better. Well, that's a little far-fetched there, Mr. Murphy. Slow your shit down. He said he and Seth both know that day will come, but tonight comes first. He said Seth thinks he can beat Drew, and tonight he knows he will beat Drew. Yeah, sure. And I'm going on a date with Liv Morgan next Tuesday. Sure you are. Ricochet and Cedric Alexander versus Brendan Vink and Shane Thorne. Folks, the WWE, I'm not mentioning Raw or SmackDown, I'm just labeling it in general. The WWE tag team situation is fucking terrible. Okay? There are basically no teams on Monday night because of your negligence and your lack of creativity. We have the Street Profits who want the smoke, and I want nothing but the remote when they come on. The Viking Raiders, who are nowhere near being over on the main roster. Nobody gives a shit about the Viking Raiders. They were over in NXT. They were cool on NXT. So were the Street Profits. These two teams, they are not anywhere close to what they were on Raw compared to what they were on NXT. Then we got this Ricochet and Cedric Alexander team. I don't even know what the fuck their names are. Seriously, as a tag team, too high, too fly, ride or die. I don't know what the fuck these guys are calling themselves. Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? When they lose matches like this, I know this team is going nowhere. Nowhere. Ricochet and Cedric Alexander lost to Brendan Vink and Shane Thorne. Now, Shane Thorne is a great wrestler. Okay? Thorne knows what he's doing. I haven't seen enough of Brendan Vink to really chime in on what he does or how he is. I have not seen him outside of his sporadic appearances on Monday night. He's a big guy. But I can't really take him all that seriously when A, I don't know about him, and B, those trunks have got to go, bro. They got to go. Shane Thorne looks so uncool on Monday Night Raw. On NXT, he looks cool. Comes out with his furry jacket. He just oozes just like, I'm fucking better than you, and you know it. On Monday Night Raw, he's got to just ooze into mediocrity. Now, I know this to be a fact because I watch NXT every week. This is not the same Shane Thorne we see on Wednesdays. He was on this past Wednesday show, I believe. He just oozes like I'm better than you, I don't know who the fuck this is on Monday night. I'm all for pushing new talent. I really am. But this is not even a legit tag team. Brendan Vink and Shane Thorne are not even a legit tag team. And here we are. They are aligned with MVP, who are two guys that I just cannot envision being aligned with MVP. And they're beating Ricochet and Cedric Alexander, who you've pushed on Monday night for the past month, wanting us to get behind them. And here they are this week losing to what is nothing more than an enhancement team, a jobber team that you randomly put together for the simple fact that they're both Australian. How does this make any sense to anybody? I don't know who the fuck's watching me right now, but why would you take Ricochet and Cedric Alexander to be anything close to serious after losing this match? This does not make any sense. Oh, I'm supposed to take Ricochet seriously because he was in a match with Brock Lesnar that lasted 90 seconds for the WWE title before WrestleMania, right? Buried. And I'm not using that term because I don't know how to use it or I am freely throwing it around. Buried. If I was to take these guys seriously, then I would say, you know what? They've gotten some solid wins on Monday night, but then I think, what tag teams are on Monday night that they could get solid victories over? Nobody. And then we got Brendan Vink and Shane Thorne, and they're beating Ricochet and Cedric Alexander on Monday night. For what? Now, I don't know if these guys are going to stay a tag team on Monday night, but this does not do anything to establish Ricochet and Cedric Alexander. Nothing. Now, if you want to turn this into a friendly competition, by all means. But Shane Thorne and Brendan Vink are not main roster talent. They are simply there to fill a void that needs to be filled during these empty arena shows. Ricochet and Cedric Alexander should be your main priority. They should be the next team in line for whatever the fuck's going on this show for the tag team titles. And you automatically took them out of any discussion with this loss here tonight. Bullshit. And I'm going to say it again like I did last week. Ricochet and Cedric Alexander, yeah, they look good. They look flashy. They look like they belong. They look like a legit tag team. But I really can't gauge how over they're going to be, or if this is working or not, or if WWE really gives a shit, or if WWE is going to give these guys an opportunity, because they are a tag team that needs the crowd support more than any other fucking team on this show. Because with how they've been treated, their lifeline would have been how the crowd reacted to them in the ring. Now that they don't have that, now that we don't have that, I don't know what WWE management is thinking of Ricochet and Cedric. And by what we've seen tonight, the plug might have been pulled on both of these guys and this tag team on Raw. I don't know. I really don't know. We got the Street Profits. They're backstage and they're talking about the Viking Raiders. Angelo Dawkins says that this is where they met and became brothers, him and Montez Ford. Montez Ford said since the Viking Raiders had signed to the WWE and came to the Performance Center, they've been chasing them. He said the chase ends tonight because they want the smoke. They want the smoke. So the Viking Raiders and the Street Profits happened tonight. This one went 16 minutes. 16 minutes. And I am going to tell you that this was not bad. Sloppy, but not bad. The Viking Raiders win in 16 minutes. The Viking Raiders win in 16 minutes. Not even going to go over the match because why the fuck do you want to hear me go over the match breakdown by breakdown, move for move, submission by submission, right? I'm going to get right into the fucking illogical garbage that WWE has given us on their show. So last week, we got the Viking Raiders challenging the Street Profits for the Tag Team Championships. One would assume that match would happen at Money in the Bank. Okay? Now, if you guys look at the Tag Team division on Monday night, by process of elimination, there are no teams on Monday night. So with the Street Profits being challenged by the Viking Raiders, which to me would have made sense because they beat the only other team in the division in Ricochet and Cedric Alexander. Right? Am I correct? Are you following me? Okay. Just want to make sure. So the Viking Raiders beat the one other team in this division. Okay, so by that logic alone, They challenged the Street Profits. Match should have been made for Sunday at the pay-per-view. So what WWE does is 6 days before the pay-per-view, they give us the pay-per-view match. They give us the Viking Raiders versus the Street Profits in a non-title match on Monday night, where the Street Profits lost in 16 minutes to the Viking Raiders. How it happened was Ford gave Ivar a DDT, then he landed a frog splash, which apparently they're now calling the cash out, or Tom Phillips just came up with that on his own tonight. Dawkins made the cover. Eric broke up the cover with a huge knee. Chaos broke out. Raiders landed the Viking Experience, or a.k.a. Thor's Hammer, because that sounds a lot cooler, for the win. So, let me backtrack a little bit here, okay? Let me reiterate what I said. The Viking Raiders beat Ricochet and Cedric Alexander, the only other team in the division, okay? Normally, logically, you would beat teams in the division and then be placed in a certain spot where you are now labeled number one contenders for the tag team championships. By that alone, you should get a tag team title match. What WWE did here is they gave you the pay-per-view match that should have been on Sunday, on Monday, 6 days earlier, with the tag team champions losing on television. The Viking Raiders beat the tag team champions to become the number one contenders for the Raw tag team titles, just to justify the match happening on Sunday. But WWE didn't realize that the match was justifiable already by what the Viking Raiders have done in beating Ricochet and Cedric Alexander. So what I'm getting at here, and this is what WWE is doing, and this is why I shit all over the fucking company every single week, and they should be fucking ashamed of themselves. Because this creative is miserable. What they did tonight is they had the tag team champions lose. They had the champions lose on television tonight. Clean. The Viking Raiders beat the champions, and we got a match that should have never happened tonight. We got a match that should have never happened tonight, that should have happened on Sunday, only to get the same match again on Sunday with the Viking Raiders losing and not getting the tag team championships. Because in the end, what do you want to say? The Viking Raiders versus Ricochet and Cedric Alexander, or a match that we have not seen yet in Ricochet and Cedric Alexander versus the Street Profits? So please tell me where I am wrong and where you guys find complaint in anything that I said. WWE gave us a match tonight that should have never happened and should have happened on Sunday, only to give us the match tonight and Sunday, and it's going to be the same fucking match. The same match. So when the match happens on Sunday night, I'm going to complain to you, didn't I see this on Monday? Why the fuck am I going to care about this on Sunday when I seen this happen for 16 minutes on Monday night? Class dismissed. Class dismissed. WWE and their ways of becoming number one contenders or getting their talent to become number one contenders, having the champions lose on television and having the matches happen 6 days before the pay-per-view only to book the same fucking match happening again on Sunday, this shit needs to go. It needs to come to an end because it looks fucking ridiculous. It shows me that you don't care. It's sloppy. It's illogical. And the tag team division is absolutely fucking tragic. It is fucking tragic, WWE. I don't know who the fuck is listening to me in this company. I hope someone is. I know someone is. This tag team division needs something. It needs life. It's got to be resuscitated. Something. It's got to be given a fucking magic potion. I mean, you know, I could go fucking grab a fairy bottle in The Legend of Zelda and fucking fill all my heart meters up. That's what it fucking needs. It needs the fucking fairy mountain. Or the fairy fountain in Zelda. That's the tag team division. Tired of this shit, man. I really am. This shit is fucking trash. Honestly. Charlie Caruso interviewed Drew McIntyre backstage. She asked what he thinks of Murphy, saying he knows he can beat Drew. He said he beat up too bad. He's beat up badly, apparently, if he really thinks that. He said Murphy is very talented, or he got beat up badly last week. That's why he's like muttering and maybe he lost his mind. I don't know. So he said Murphy's very talented, but if he's willing to be sacrificed for his Messiah and his Messiah is willing to sacrifice his disciple, then who is he to deny everyone a good old-fashioned slaughtering? A lot of Bible innuendo there. WWE, you know, they always go down that same road, you know, mocking the Bible. More Money in the Bank stuff. They went over a countdown where they labeled the top 10, I guess, Money in the Bank moments just to get you hyped for the pay-per-view. Not going to go over them because who the fuck cares? Charlie Caruso then interviewed the Viking Raiders, who were celebrating their victory. They should have been celebrating their victory on Sunday, not on Monday. She seemed very happy for them. Eric said it's not success, it's dominance. They've been showing everyone. And Ivar said they even like the Profits, but they are just the better tag team. Eric said the raid is on. And tonight, just like every other night, they extinguished the smoke. So that's that. So we got a promo with Aleister Black, who asked Styles, because Styles mentioned Aleister Black, and you know, they have a little history there. Aleister Black asked Styles to tell everyone what it's like to be buried alive, being swallowed in darkness. He's got this big Illuminati fucking pentagram-looking necklace on. I mean, right in plain sight. I mean, Jesus Christ, be a little bit of, hidden with it, please, and not overly mock the fucking, the fucking Bible and all this other shit that they're doing. Mockery in plain sight with all this shit. I mean, is that necessary? I get it. It fits the gimmick. It's dark, but Jesus fucking Christ. I mean, it looks ridiculous. He said now Styles is talking about throwing him off a building on Sunday. There's another mention there. You know, someone's getting thrown off the fucking building. I don't know where, I don't know how, but someone's going off. He said it didn't make Styles more humble, though. He said if Styles finds a way to throw him off the building, pray that I don't get back up because I will climb that ladder and I will take the Money in the Bank contract. And when that happens, you'll wish you were buried deeper than 6 feet. So that's that. Aleister Black's my choice to win it, but now that AJ's in it, I guess AJ's the odds-on favorite because he's the heel. And babyfaces never look good with the briefcase, man. Never look good with the briefcase. Rey Mysterio talked about the Money in the Bank ladder match. He said for the first time ever, the match won't take place in the ring, but rather in the WWE headquarters. He said they'll fight from the ground floor to the roof to reach the briefcase. One bad decision, one wrong move, and that's all I wrote. This is by far the riskiest match of my career. He said the briefcase contains a contract for a championship match anytime, any place. Thank you for going over the rules there, Mr. Mysterio. He said since his career is nearer the end than the beginning, he's not sure how many championship opportunities he has left, but he said it's risky, but the risk is worth the reward. That's the new thing that they're pushing. The risk is worth the reward, climbing the corporate ladder, the most unique, Money in the Bank. Nothing about this show or this company is fucking unique. Rey Mysterio, this is the last Money in the Bank ladder match he will be in because he is gone by the summer. Goodbye, Ray. I wish I could say goodbye to Charlotte Flair. Every time I see this woman on television, man, my stomach bubbles, nauseating. That's the fucking feel I get in my stomach. Charlotte says, first of all, she's on Monday Night Raw. We just seen her on NXT. We're going to see her on NXT again on Wednesday. 2 times on Monday and Wednesday that I see Charlotte Flair, man. It's not really what I signed up for. It's not what I signed up for. Charlotte said she's been the hardest working woman in the industry since winning the NXT title. Are you the hardest working woman doing what exactly? Burying the NXT and Raw women's divisions? Single-handedly? Burying the women's championship on NXT. That's what you call hard work. Great. Your version of hard work and my version of hard work are completely different, honey. Completely different. Okay? She said she faces Io Shirai on Wednesday night. Another fucking name on the bulletin board in Charlotte's office. Who have I conquered? Io Shirai. Who's left? I don't even know. I really don't know. Charlotte may go over to NXT UK and fucking feast on their women's division too. Toni Storm, Piper Niven, right? Ginny, Kaylee Ray. Just line them all up. They're all going to be fed to Charlotte Flair eventually. She said Io said that she is her dream opponent. She said that she gets to make Io's dreams come true when she has the privilege of bowing down to the queen. Now, there are legitimately people out there that think that Io Shirai is going to win this match and win the NXT Women's Championship. Folks, I'm here to tell you that, well, what did my buddy Jesse say? That he has new technology. He has this new technology built into his TV where he could fast forward to Wednesday and find out the spoiler on Wednesday's NXT show. And there you guessed it. Charlotte Flair's going to win. Charlotte Flair's going to win. By the way, I'm doing AEW Dynamite on Wednesday with my boy Jesse, so tune into that. Should be a good show. Folks, I see people having polls and taking votes on social media for Io and Charlotte. It's not going the way you want it to go. It's not going the way you think it's going to go. I'm here to tell you that Charlotte is going to add another notch on her belt. Ever watch that episode of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air where Will gives Carlton his black book, right? And he's just standing there or kneeling down. He's got this white aura around him and he's yelling, "I have the power," right? You know, that he's finally got Will's black book. That is Charlotte in WWE's women's division. That's what Charlotte's going to feel like when she beats Io and she has another notch on her belt. She's got another name in her black book, another name carved onto the tombstone. What am I saying that's not true? I mean, do you honestly think, you watching me, do you honestly think that Io Shirai is going to become the new NXT Women's Champion? Oh, man. That might be the funniest thing I hear all year, bro. And we've had some doozies this year, believe me. So, out comes Liv Morgan. And unless Liv Morgan has volunteered to carve her own name into the tombstone. This is what this is about. Charlotte asks if she wants her attention and to take the new Liv Morgan seriously. Liv said, "Not all of them are born with silver spoons shoved in their mouths." She said she didn't have a dad walk her to the front of the line twice. She said sooner or later she'll be champion, which I agree with, I believe. Liv Morgan has come a long way. She is a lot better than what I remember her being in the ring, so I got to give her props. Charlotte said she was born with a silver spoon as the daughter of Ric Flair, and she's damn proud of it. That's exactly why you are where you are, and the 16 plastic surgeries that you've gotten, but that's neither here or there, so I won't mention any of that stuff. She said that she thought Liv was going to come out here and tell her that her dream is to go one-on-one with her, like Io said. She said both of them will bow down to the queen. Liv entered the ring and challenged Charlotte to a match so they can see what happens. Honey, listen, I don't need a crystal ball. I don't need to go to a fortune teller. I could have told you right then and there before you even came out, you were about to be fed to the queen. So what was the point of this? Now, I see a lot of people on social media, "Oh, Liv looked good." Yeah, she looked good. She looked good. But folks, you could spell it out in any fucking language. You could enunciate it and pronounce it in any language you want. Loser is loser. So, I don't know what you're trying to reach at. You're reaching for fucking nothing. You're reaching for fucking straws that are barely there, bro. Liv Morgan looked good. Great. Who's going to remember it by Wednesday? Nobody. Liv Morgan lost. Liv Morgan was fed to Charlotte. Liv Morgan was a loser in tonight's match. Simple. Did she look good? Yeah, she did. But she was in the ring with Charlotte Flair, who is obviously the superior to Liv Morgan. If Charlotte Flair's not having a good match with Liv Morgan, then there's a fucking problem. She shouldn't even be NXT champion at that point. But Liv Morgan, moving on from, the android queen, she looks a lot better. She has really stepped up her game. And a lot of people think that she will eventually be a champion. A lot more work has to be done. I still don't get the gimmick. I don't know who Liv Morgan is or why I should care. Or what they are planning on changing about Liv Morgan. But I want her to succeed. I think she's got what it takes. So we'll see what happens. Charlotte, please. The less of Charlotte we see, the better. Oh, and by the way, I would love if people just reveal themselves, those cretins, those goons that came to me and said that Charlotte being the NXT champion was going to enhance the NXT title, and Charlotte being on NXT was going to enhance the division. Where are you guys now? Because on Wednesday, Dave Meltzer said and reported that Charlotte's segment on Wednesday was the lowest rating on NXT, one of the lowest ratings ever for NXT, and certainly the lowest rating on Wednesday's show. So I would love for you to reveal yourself on how Charlotte is enhancing the title and enhancing the division when she can't even fucking boost a rating. And we all know why she's the NXT champion, because AEW. That's why. Charlotte wins in 11 minutes, figure 8. You guessed it. Liv Morgan lost. No surprise there. So the number one Money in the Bank moment of all time was obviously Seth Rollins' 2015 WrestleMania against Brock Lesnar, pinning Roman rather, after the Brock-Roman match during that year's WrestleMania. Awesome stuff there. They plugged the Money in the Bank match at the WWE headquarters. They showed the interior of the headquarters, including the lobby, the elevators, the stairs, the company gym, the cafeteria. I'm assuming Titus works out of the headquarters as well. The executive conference rooms, and finally, the staircase to the roof. They are going to destroy this building, and I'm assuming they're going to move into their new building, which I heard that WWE has halted construction on for the next 6 to 8 months, 6 to 9 months. So I'm assuming they're going to destroy this place up and down and then move into their new building, because I don't know how they're going to destroy it and then have a headquarters left at the end of the day. I don't know. So we got the final match, man. Murphy versus Drew McIntyre in the main event. This was very lackadaisical and very predictable. Buddy Murphy loses, of course, because he was sacrificed to Drew McIntyre. And he got a Claymore kick to the face, and that was it. Buddy Murphy barely got any offense in on this thing. McIntyre wins, and then as Drew's music played, on the PA, Seth walked up the steps, and Drew begged him to make his way into the ring and fight him right now. Seth paused. He retreated like a heel. Drew yelled, "What a shock." And then Drew was playing up to the one fucking lone producer in the audience. I don't know what the fuck he was doing. And then out from behind, Rollins attacked Drew McIntyre, attacked him from behind. Seth then yelled, "This isn't about Drew or him." He said, "It's bigger than that." He looked at the WWE title. He bent over, picked it up. He was acknowledging it and admiring it. He went for a stomp. Drew got up, avoided it, gave him the Glasgow kiss headbutt. Went for a Claymore. Seth rolled out of the ring, and Drew's music played, and that was the final pitch for Money in the Bank. And that was your Monday Night Raw. That's pretty much it, folks. Nothing new, nothing unique whatsoever. Raw sucked. A bunch of just illogical garbage that I really do enjoy shitting on this show. It's at a point where it deserves it. It's at a point, it's always deserved it, but it's at a point right now, even now, a lot of people's tunes have changed. There may be one or two fucking cretins out there that are watching this and are using this as an escape mechanism. We don't need pro wrestling to be an escape mechanism. I don't give a fuck who you are, what you do, or what you say about me. The show's on for every fucking Monday for 3 hours. I'm going to shit on it because they're giving us complete garbage. If you are out there giving me 3 hours, then I have every fucking right to come on here every Monday for 1 hour plus and shit on your illogical booking. Makes no difference to me. But that is that, guys. Hope you enjoyed the podcast. And I will see you right back here on Wednesday. We got AEW Dynamite. We'll be talking with Jesse. My boy Jesse's going to be on the show. And we'll go over the entire show. It's going to be live from the Daly's place in Jacksonville, Florida. So I'm excited about that. No fans. Not yet anyway, but no fans. So look forward to that on Wednesday, and I think I might be live on Thursday for NXT because it's a big takeover-esque NXT show, so we'll go over that. I might have taken Drew with me for the WWE review. I think we've discussed that he's not going to be with me doing AEW Dynamite because you guys are very hostile, man. You're a very hostile bunch. So we'll figure that out, and then obviously we got a whole brand new week of content coming up for you. So thank you guys so very much for that. Follow me on social media at JDfromNY206. That is on Twitter and Instagram. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications. If you guys want to support the podcast, you guys can certainly do that on Patreon, patreon.com/JDfromNY206, Audible, audibletrial.com/offthescript, and make sure you guys check the description of this very video for all the videos that you might have missed on the channel so far this past week. Guys, I'm getting out of here, and I'll see you right back here on Wednesday for AEW Dynamite. Have a great Tuesday. Stay safe, and I'll see you guys on Wednesday for Dynamite with Jesse. See you guys then.